Hello. My name is Rachel and I am a light worker, and I'm going to pull some cards. I'm going to see who comes through. I also channel, so I have channeled quite a few different entities and beings, and they're all good. Dragons, angels, fairies. So let's see what comes through. I have the Dreams of Gaia tarot deck, so I'm going to open this and we'll do some shuffling on that. But first, actually, it's a beautiful deck. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's a gorgeous deck. By Ravynne Phelan. Let's see, I've got a lot of work to do for quality. Sorry, there's like a big reflection from the, oh, maybe I can do this. Let's see, let's turn it off. Okay, now you can see it, sort of, hopefully. Okay. First, what we're going to do is choose a guide, or let a guide choose us, actually. See who wants to come through. This is the Keepers of the Light. Had some cards put there, so let's mix these in here. See who wants to come through to help us out today. They're always around. I don't know what whoever might be watching this, what your background is, but oh, let me show you. Keepers of the Light. Oh, here we go again. Keepers of the Light. It's by Kyle Gray. It's a really good book. A really good book that comes with it. And some of these ascended masters, angels. There's also some galactics in here, or at least one, I think. So quite a few of them I'm actually not familiar with at all. So that's been very interesting, using the cards. So let's just see. Whoop. Well, one just came out right now. Paul the Venetian, okay? Experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Well, that sounds like a wonderful message. I don't know much about Paul the Venetian, but he looks like a lot of these cards. Of course, he's got a kindness in his face and an intelligence. He has the rose energy. I don't know if you can see the rose right here. And it looks like he's he's got a cravat, looks like Victorian times. So some of you may be familiar, some of you, I say as if there's anybody watching right now. But if anybody watches this and they happen to know this person, the history, I'm definitely going to be looking this up when I complete this video. But what I think I'll do is go ahead and read from the card, or excuse me, read from the deck. Read from the book. This is a book, Rachel. Let's see, Paul the Venetian. Obviously he's from Venice. That's the only thing I know about him right now. Okay, about. Paul the Venetian is said to be the ascended form of Paolo Veronese, a famous artist of the Italian Renaissance. The Venetian refers to the fact that he was connected to Venice, Italy. It is believed that on his passing in 1588, okay, so I totally got the Victorian thing wrong. It looks like a cravat that he has at his neck, but apparently it's not. It is believed that on his passing in 1588, he had the opportunity to help humanity by sharing his lifelong wisdom. He is the keeper of the light who helps us accept our talents and hone our skills so that we can share the beauty of our soul with the world. Wow, okay, that's very appropriate for my first video, I think, and probably for many of you out there that aren't watching right now, but maybe will eventually. Getting in touch with our talents, accepting our talents, recognizing them. We often don't recognize our talents at all because we have talents that are a little bit different than perhaps the average person. You know, having a strong intuition isn't considered a skill in most societies. It was at one time, hundreds and thousands of years ago, but at this time it is not considered. And it's still something you put on your resume. Let's see here. He brings waves of good energy, grace, and encouragement. Oh, thank you. We can use that. And works with all artists, musicians, designers, and anyone else who needs support in channeling their talents. Wow, I'm going to have to read more about this gentleman. Extended message. Whatever creative ideas you're having at this time, they are inspired by the divine. Paul the Venetian is here to help you channel your gifts. You may have felt blocked or held back in the past, but now it's time to recognize how talented you really are. Follow your bliss and share your grace. Your creativity is a gift to the world, and as you share it with all those around you, you make space in your heart for goodness to enter. Recognizing your gifts today and expressing your creative self in a way that suits you. Okay. Well, that sort of sets the tone for this this reading, this session. Let's see what comes up. Looks like one of the things is the theme here is recognizing our talents, and Paul the Venetian is going to help us do that. And let's see what other cards come up here. What else can you tell us? What other messages do you have for us? Okay, this one's very anxious to come out. Shall we have two more, please? 3 total. 3 cards for now. How are you guys doing? The solstice energies, whoa, have been very intense. Oh, that's... I will show you all these cards. Okay, one more. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so the first card that came out here is, gosh, it's beautiful. It reminds me of, oh, here we go again. Seems to be another reflection on here. Okay, I'll get better at this. This is my first video, so hopefully I will. Okay, this card puts me in mind of Metatron because we have the rainbow light. I don't know if you can see that there, and also here. We have the rainbow light. We have the black and white. We have actually that is the medical, the symbol that was confiscated by the medical association. I can't remember what it is. So we've got this black and white energy, which is kind of the planet, isn't it? It's we kind of, human beings tend to want to put things in boxes. And many of the issues today seem to be black or white, but they're not. There's so many different shades between the right and the left sort of point of view. So to me, this is something that star seeds and light workers, that we recognize this. We recognize that even before we recognize who we really are. In other words, before we even knew that we were a light worker, or before we knew we were a star seed. We already had recognized that the world is made up into camps. You know, you're either a conservative or you're a liberal, or a leftist, or a rightist, or whatever. And the truth is, none of us are really just one thing. In example, I have friends who voted for Trump, and I would not consider them racist. We all have different shades to us. And I think that's one of the teachings of Metatron, that we all are so much more than what we appear on the outside. We're more than any group or organization you work for. We're more than that. We're more than this body that we have. We're more than our words. We are so much bigger than this existence. That's my belief anyway. So we have the rainbow light, which those of you out there who are working with the light and the various rays, the rainbow, of course, is all of the rays, and it's something that I gravitate towards. So perhaps people who might run across this video, they may also have that. Otherwise, why did you run across this video where I'm talking about rainbow light? Rainbow light is something I've been using for the last couple years, and particularly last year, it was very intensively. I used it in a healing, and the results were amazing. The results were what I would consider miraculous, and I believe that miracles happen every day. So I think that's what this card is telling us, that we can live in this world, and we can hold the light within us, which it is a part of us, and we can walk through this world that is black and white, that seems like it's black and white. We can walk through this world and hold that rainbow light, and receive that rainbow light. Ask for it. Ask for it. You'll get it. And so that's this card, that we may walk through the black and white, and people may see us however they're going to see us. But we know who we are. Okay, and then we've got this little card. It's not little. I don't know why I said it that way. Let's see. You can see it much better that way, can't you? It looks like a fight. It looks like a disagreement. And it looks like one of these gentlemen is ready to take it to the physical level. Let's see if we can get some clarity on that. What are we talking about here? Shall we... do we want to pull one of these? No, I'm going to go back to the Keepers of the Light. Let's see who Paul the Venetian maybe wants to work with this. We've got, oh, look at that. Got the Mother Mary here. Sorry, let's turn that off. Mother Mary card on the bottom of the deck. Okay, I think this is the card that needs to come through. Her energy is so beautiful, it overwhelms me. So if I start crying, excuse me. It's just such a beautiful... Such a beautiful light. Okay, so we've got this card. She has... Can we turn that one off too? No, that didn't help at all. But she has the flower of life behind her head. It's very subtle, so you may not be able to see it there. We have some roses, which ties into Paul the Venetian. It also has the rose right here. And we've got that lovely blue, gentle, healing, soothing light that Mother Mary has. What does it say here? Love and peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. Now, this is the card that came up. If you can see, it's two men who look like they're getting ready to do battle. This gentleman on this side, he's got his fist raised. He's ready to smack someone, smack this guy. And then we get the Mother Mary card, which is saying, no, that's not what we need to do. We don't need to do that at all. So it may come, because I'm trying to remember where Mars is right now. I think Mars is going into Cancer, or it is in Cancer. Sorry, I don't know that offhand. I should have looked it up. But at any rate, regardless of where the planets are, we all recognize the fact that this world has become quite heated in the last... well, it's been coming to a head probably for quite some time, but we don't need to go into detail on that. Obviously, people are at each other's throats. They're angry. This is something that comes up into a lot of my readings lately for anybody that I'm doing cards for. So I think that even for us, we can get really angry and heated. Sometimes you just get triggered. I'm a fairly calm, even person. And then something will happen or somebody will say something and I just I feel like, the volcano just exploded in me. So I think that's normal for what is going on right now because the energies are so intense and there's so much that's being revealed to us and some of it is very difficult to accept. But it all has a purpose. And if we take a breath, if we can remember to take a breath when something happens and it feels like people are demanding that you have a reaction. They're demanding it. And so we as light workers, as empaths, as starseeds, your tendency is to be quite empathetic. And some of us even react, and we don't even realize that we're doing that. So nobody has the right to demand that you expend energy. No one has the right to ask that of you. No one has the right to demand that from us. You are allowed to take a breath. I think it takes about 3 before you can find that cool center. But you could ask Mother Mary, you can ask her, can you please help me? Please help me. Please help me find this center. I don't want to yell at this person. I don't want to get angry. You can ask for help. And I can say with all certainty that she will help you. Even if you're not it doesn't matter what your faith is. Because see, they don't mind up there. None of that matters. None of that's in the way for them. The way it is here on this planet. Different religions, none of that matters to them because they're all connected to Source. And they all know that we are one. We are one with Mother Mary. We are one with Paul Venetian. We are one with Ashtar. We are all one because we're all part of Source. Okay, so I think that explained that card. Hopefully that made sense to you. Then the last card that we have is the King of Air. And it's a gorgeous card. Here we go again. Gosh. See the eagle down there? The eagle's down at the bottom. There's really a reflection there. I'll figure this out, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So we have this beautiful masked man here, which looks like... of course, this is all the symbols of air that we've got here. The birds. Now, just like the water, and there's various animals that live at various depths in the sea. The same is true for the air. There are certain birds that fly, you know, like your sparrows and your pigeons and your doves. They fly at a certain altitude. They don't go above that. Then you have things like eagles and hawks, particularly eagles, who fly at tremendous height. And I don't know what. I'm not expert, but I do know, I'm aware of that, and probably many of you are as well. Many of whoever is watching this video. Okay, so I see the birds, and definitely the element of air. Well, there you go. It's the same kind of thing. It's looking at things from a higher perspective. When you look at the world from the viewpoint of an eagle or hawk, the world looks much different. Here's a good example. I recently, or not recently, but a few years back actually, was watching the footage that NASA has of the planet. You know, they're circling the planet, and it was in the height of actually the general election, 2016. Anyway, when you look at the world from that perspective, everything looks so peaceful. Everything looks so calm, and like there is a design. There is an intelligence, a source. But when you're down here, sometimes it can feel like, oh my God, you know, certain faiths believe in a place called hell, and you could see why when you look around at times. But if we can pull ourselves up, which Spirit can help you with, guides around you, Paul the Venetian, Mother Mary, whoever you particularly resonate with, they look at everything from a higher perspective, and that is what they are urging us to do. Because the more that we're able to do that, the more centered and calm we can become, and the more centered and calm we can become, the more we can do our work. It's really hard to do your work when you're upset and angry, and you know that you can't do a reading. You can't do, you know, yesterday I was trying to do this, I couldn't do it because I was too emotionally so that was just not going to happen. So it's about finding ourselves looking at the planet from a higher perspective, from the perspective of an eagle, from the perspective of a hawk, from the perspective of a dragon, or an angel, because they all look at things from a much different angle than we do here. And that's what we're reaching for. So I'm going to end this here, and hope that this video came out so that I can actually post it, because this isn't my first try. Anyway, thank you so much, and thank you for watching, and like I said, I'll get better. Thanks.